Cool. So more ramblings of either someone walking the path of their spiritual journey, whatever anybody else would call that, or a crazy person, or whatever anybody else would call that. Yeah, I woke up this morning and the energy's different, thank goodness. It's just wild. And I was just listening to someone who's doing, she's doing astrology and she's doing oracling, taking channeled messages from other sources, wherever they come from, whatever anybody's labeling them. I am so over the whole labeling game and the friction that causes, because my label is going to be better than yours, I can promise you. And if I am willing to accept what you're telling me, I'm going to believe that your label's better than mine at some point, because we're bringing that power struggle into it. And this can just be made so much simpler. And I know that sounds really bad. It can just be so simple. It could be made so much simpler by people just being honest and being allowed to safely be themselves without having, concern for their physical well-being ending and being unalived because someone's triggered or someone's over the point of being able to reel in their emotional lability. If you can't control your emotion, man, get with your spirit, because your spirituality and your emotions are the same thing. Your energy is expressed through your emotions primarily, can be expressed through your physical body. However, your energy, your emotions, they're expressed through you speaking and relating those emotions. And if they're relating emotions badly, you might find that you're beating the shit out of somebody, or you're doing something dastardly behind someone's back. You're being sneaky, you're, manipulative, or you could be very simply stealing and thieving the joy or the self-esteem or the confidence or something from another person with your snide comment or your... And if a person is not standing solid enough in who and what they are, and they listen to another person and their shine is dulled because of it, that's wrong. The universe does not look upon that kindly. It does not take that with kindness. Not because God is vengeful. We're not understanding the laws of the universe, folks. This isn't personal. This isn't personal. There is not a person at your bank theoretically, when you just look at the raw application of the idea, there is not a person at your bank that's going to take it personally if you bounce a check. If they do, they've got problems, that start stuffing your money in a different bank or in your mattress. But if you bounce a check, the person at the bank who's running your commodities for you, your assets or your lack thereof, who's managing that, if they're not really tied to that, they have no emotional investment to it. Ideally, and in the most healthy position, they wouldn't care because it's not their problem nor their concern. And the fact that you would welch on something and have a problem, the bank is probably not going to have a long-term relationship with you if you can't pay your bills, because they're a bill. They're going to charge you for not banking in the highest vibration that you possibly could. You can bank in that way. It's very expensive. And there are banks that if you're willing to pay that $29 or $59 or $269,000, whatever it is, every time you bounce a check, they'll continue to bank with you as long as you're not a liability. The minute you become a liability, you cut. There's nothing personal. It's not like the president of the bank comes over, Capital One, says, well, you were really bad and you bounced this number of checks. It's not personal. It's down to, can you pay the return check fee? Oh, you can't? Well, then your account's closed. We don't want to do business with you anymore, because we prosper on your mistakes. We prosper on you making mistakes. Now, the universe is not calculated and creepy like that. The universe is impersonal in that respect, that karma is what is gravity. If you don't use gravity well, you fall down and break your face open. Is that the bank's fault? Think of it like that. It's not anybody's fault at the bank that you bounced a check. So if you're getting stuff avalanching into your world that's terrible, it's not personal. It's not God that's, sending wrath upon you. That is, you are projecting something out there that equaled, this is what you got in return. And there are light workers and people who are here doing energy work here, working vehemently to save this planet. You know, people that are energetic doctors, so to speak, that we're running a code on this planet, and we don't have time anymore for anyone to be dishonest or to assume that their karma can't be carried by them. Your baggage is yours. Pick it up and move it and get going, and stop taking stuff so personally, and don't get butthurt. God's not punishing you. Your math was wrong. You failed that test. Go study and come back and take the test, because every second, every day is a test. I mean, it's a test all day long, in that whether you had a life plan and a contract that was laid out every single step of the way, if that's the way you go with it, then okay, just have faith in it then. But we're wiggling around. See, we're wobbling and wiggling around in these gray areas because we're not really sticking to one story. We're trying to find comfort, soothing, compassion, safety, and if I find it in the Bible and I land right there and I don't think of anything else, the minute you find something contradictory in the Bible, or somebody says something that triggers you and you lose your mind, I'd say you need some more reference material, because you're not getting everything out of that book that you could. And there is holy, sacred, magical stuff worldwide. The energy that runs this planet is that magical stuff. So if you're not finding your Jesus Christ experience, or your Buddha experience, or your deity experience, if you're not finding that gorgeous, beautiful place inside of you that's peaceful, that you can carry that anywhere you go, if you're not finding it in here, I can promise you, you're not going to find it out there by trying to ask and poll every single person that comes along, or try to change their mind to join what you're doing in order for you to make you feel better. You know, my job as an energy worker is, I'm not here to save you. I'm here to say, hey, if you want a better way, here's an understanding, because things are changing. We're evolving, you know? We don't use that silver box on the corner thing anymore. We don't even carry the quarter in our pocket, and we don't put our iPhone up to a silver box to get that shit to work so that we can stay attached to a corner somewhere calling for help. Are you kidding me? Nope. We've got our own comms device right here. And when I'm going spiritual and I want to talk to the Lord, God, whomever you talk to, my spiritual advisors, my team, God, divinity, I'm not waiting on a silver box or my comms device that, you know, an Android or an Apple, either one. I'm going to rely on the comms device that's right here, because my divinity is within me. I was born with it, just like you. And whatever your origins are, here on Earth or elsewhere, we're all cosmic dust, and we all breathe the same air. Then how about we put this on the platform of common understanding that you're just the same as everybody else. Even if you're here doing light work and you're gorgeous and beautiful soul, or you're a dark ass person, you're doing nasty, hateful shit. Either way, we have a job to do. The people that are here to do the job, that know we've got a job to do, that's way more important than bickering about, you know, stuff that, I'm working a code. You need to get the hell out of my way, because there's a patient on the ground there, and I'm not going to let that patient die while you're warbling and, you know, in front of my face. That's not how this scene's going to run. And it gets a little bit frosty sometimes, because it's not a lack of love. I love people, and I'll shove you right out of the way, because you're not medical necessity at this point. This is a multi-casualty incident, baby, and you just became, nope, not relevant. So if you mark yourself as the irrelevant tag in my MCI, as a paramedic, I'm going to keep right on walking past you, because you self-identified with a black tag that you're dead as hell. You're dead as a doornail. You've got blank eyeballs, walking around causing trouble and making more emergency for people like me, who, I love my job, man, but I'm only one person. And we're low on assets, if you know what I mean. And God's good. And God, experience, divinity, spirit is awesome. However, you can't run around with your pie in the sky, corny stuff about how unicorns are going to come save the earth on this date, and so if we just get there, it'll all be okay. Or worse, you don't believe any of that story, and you're living on the one day Jesus is coming back and it won't matter, because the whole earth is just going to be obliterated and we're moving to a new one. That's right up there with we'll move to Mars when we're done raping, pillaging, and plundering Earth. And I'm not about it. No, I'm here because Earth is sick. We need some emergency management on this right now, which means that every single person that's here dining off of Mother Earth, you owe Mother Earth your fee for being here, which means plant something, grow something, make something, produce something that's not terrible. that's helpful. Be self-sufficient. Be very diligent in your emotional hygiene, that you're not shoving energy out there that, please don't add to that energy that's already bad. That frequency of icky and horrible and Cookie Monster that's lethal. You don't want that little blue monster running around. You need to tame that stuff, and it's tamed by going inside. And if you can't find what you need on a pew bench somewhere, find a park bench, or just find a place to be a bench warmer for a minute in a place where you're not going to be disturbed. You can find your God. You don't have to listen to anybody, or you can find your Mother Nature experience, or your personal, whatever you call all that. I don't care. Just please find it, because the soulless people, the people who are able to look at others with zero concern. Okay? When I see a problem, dude, no matter how secure I may feel, if I see a problem somewhere and I know that there's abuse happening, or there's an abuse of power, or there's someone that, this is just a misunderstanding and you got to stop that shit immediately because what you're doing is wrong. No, then I'm going to be up in it all day long. However, saving people from their codependent decisions and their narcissistic tendencies to do things that are only self-serving, 1111, thank you very much. That's saving and rescuing in a way that, no. You can't throw the ring, you can't go jump into the pool as the lifeguard. If you do, then you have endless lives and you're playing a video game, or you don't mind risking death while you're being dragged under by the person who's too panicked and triggered by their emotions to understand that you got to stop this shit because you're going to drown, and I'm not about to let you drown me. Well, I'm trying to help you because I know how to swim. I wouldn't be in this position, you dumbass. That's what that turns into. 1144 just passed. And it can't be that. It also cannot be that the lifeguard just stays there trying endlessly. And that's where light workers, starseeds, people that do energy work, we can feel that line. We can feel the line in the sand of, no. And it's done. It's over. So that is when it seems like we're nasty, we're mean, we separate because we got other work to do here that's more important than bickering over stuff that's not important to us. At least me anyway. I don't care to bicker about anything that's not important to me. What's important to me is planet Earth. Humanitarian aid, get it going. 12, 21, mirror numbers. Notice stuff that's magical and wonderful and mystical. Why wouldn't you? Why would you want to notice the most horrible parts of humanity? Because every time we do, we're putting energy on it, and we're giving it even more attention and a little bit more juice and power. And people that are working horrible dark arts magic hour, and it's really ugly, you got to stop that shit. You're going to blow yourself up in outer space somewhere, and you're going to hate it, because when that karma is brought back to you, it might be that you're not going to die from it right away. You might live in impoverished state of being, or in medical condition that's really painful or something. Who knows? I'm not the Justice Department. I just understand how it works, and I've seen it and I've experienced it. That no, just because you don't have a direct hit of, you may have stolen $200,000 and you may have that $200,000, you might even get $400,000 if you're really good at lying and manipulating. However, you're gonna lose something else. And when you lose it and all of that, that's based on stuff that's energy stacked up out there in the quantum field that's not my business. And I don't go browsing anybody's Akashic records or the official halls of anywhere to find out, because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to stop people from abusing those that are here on the ground, boots on the ground, man, get out of my way. If you're part of the team, even if you're skilled position or not, if you want to become a skilled position, I'll tell you how to do that. Here's some tags, and whenever you can assess a black tag, put a black tag on that immediately and keep right on walking and look for the greens immediately. And when you find the greens, hand out more tags and keep going, so that we get the people who really, really want to make major vital changes in their life. Jesus rose up off the cross. He didn't come back down on here and put his sandals back on and say, please come with me. Could y'all please? No, he just rose up and kept on going. So I believe I'll leave it at there. That enough said. Yeah, enough said. Bye.